So guys, I saw a lot of movies this year in the theater and on DVD, and I'm going to talk about them. I didn't get a chance to talk about them before, and now I'm going to make this big review compilation of all the movies I saw in 2018. Yes, 2018. I am very impressed with Black Panther's marketing. They were able to get so many black people to see this movie. I mean, when I left the theater that day, I saw all these black people waiting in line to see it. Schools were taking kids to go see it. Literally, everybody was going Wakanda forever. I'm really glad Black Panther made so much money, because maybe we can get some more black superhero movies. Static has a chance, guys. Static Shock has a chance. But people overhype this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a good movie, but it wasn't that good, my guys. It wasn't that good. T'Challa, he's pretty cool and all, but he wasn't all that interesting. If I'm being honest, Zuri was one of the best characters in this whole movie, man. But Killmonger steals the show. Killmonger steals the show. He's one of the best villains I've ever seen in a Marvel movie, bro. I'm honestly sad that he died. We needed more of him. I also like that this movie was more serious than most Marvel movies, and that soundtrack was straight fire. The movie was good, and I'm glad I saw it. 7.5 out of 10. CGI rhinos. Ready Player One is a movie I think if you didn't see it in IMAX 3D, you might not get much from this movie. It has this old-timey feel to it, but still feeling pretty fresh. The soundtrack has a very 80s movie feel to it that I like. The characters are decent, the plot is decent, while the visuals and direction and action is pretty amazing. I mean, seeing this movie in IMAX 3D was amazing. That race scene was amazing. It was such a rush. And seeing references from other stuff from pop culture was pretty cool, my guys. But I think if you don't know that much about pop culture, you probably won't have much fun watching the movie as much. I think this movie is fun if you love pop culture. That's what I'm trying to say here. 7.3 out of 10. I would like more modern references. Like, where's Waluigi? This was the biggest movie of this year, my guys. Everyone and a cactus was talking about this movie. This was a movie that was long awaited, and we finally got it. If Jesus doesn't come back soon, this movie will be talked about for years. This movie is a testament to the years of work that MCU has done. But I can't say this. I can't say this is my favorite Marvel movie. It's a good movie, and it really subverted my expectations. After all the money Black Panther made, I never thought they killed him. I never thought they was going to kill him. My friend told me this fake story on how the movie was getting delayed so they could keep Black Panther alive since his movie made so much money. And I believed everything. I believed him. Everything I thought was going to happen didn't. The movie gets a big thumbs up for that one. But my problem with this movie, it's not as rewatchable as some other Marvel movies. Watching this movie, I found that some jokes wasn't as funny as they were before, and I wish this soundtrack had more character themes. How hard was that? At least they had Black Panther's theme. The music wasn't bad though. It sounds so beautiful. Despite not really having like a main theme, it sounds beautiful. It sounds amazing. And Thanos is one of the greatest villains of all time. I mean that. Oh, Thanos is just does something that no other Marvel villain has done. Be an actual threat. He actually caused something to happen. He kills people. He literally kills people. Main characters can't even go up against him. That's really amazing. And for a Marvel movie, that's that's just amazing. Like, they really made him a great villain. They really outdone themselves here. But I think the main reason I can't say this is my favorite Marvel movie is this is only part 1 of the story. The way this movie ends feels like the movie was just getting started, like reading half the book. So I have to wait to Endgame to come out so I can get a better picture. But until then, this is what I have to say. I honestly like the first Avengers movie more than this. I can see myself watching that movie dozens of times. But Infinity War, not really. But if it's on somewhere, I have no problems watching it. I give it between an 8 and a 9 out of 10. Incredibles 2, I would say, is a good movie, but it's one of the worst sequels I have ever seen to our movie. And this came from Pixar, my guys. This movie came from Pixar. Pixar! Yes, this movie has great animation, great music, great action, really great action, and great voice acting. But as a sequel to one of Pixar's best movies, it kinda fails. We waited 14 years for this. The movie doesn't really expand the world of Incredibles or its characters. By the end of the movie, they pretty much end up being the same characters as the beginning of the movie. Plus, this movie didn't really have any theme. Oh, what about the screensaver? How screens control our perception on things. Or family. The movie doesn't focus on these things long enough for me to consider those things the main theme. Incredibles 2 really should have had a time jump. Have Violet be in college, Dash in high school, have Jack be in 3rd grade. That would have been more interesting to me than this movie. This movie gets a 7.3 out of 10 for me. And on the sequel scale, it's a 5 or 6 out of 10. Come on, Pixar. Come on, Pixar. You know better than this. You know better than this. Come on. Come on. Jurassic World 2 is the second Jurassic Park movie I've seen, and I got to say that these movies are interesting. Fallen Kingdom is a very well directed movie. It has great action and a great soundtrack, but the story is terrible. There was only one character I like, 2 if you count Blue. And then they spend most of the movie in a mansion. How do you do that? No, they could have done a whole bunch of other things, but you gonna have the whole movie spent in a mansion? A movie about dinosaurs going extinct, and most of the movie takes place in a mansion. Wow. 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 And this girl is a clone. What? This girl, what that had to do with the movie's plot? I have no idea. I have no idea what that had to do with the movie's plot. These movies are like Transformers movies, but with better direction. I don't mind the action scenes in these movies, but any other scene is boring or unoriginal. 6 out of 10. T-Rexes are cool. This movie was pretty funny, but the plot didn't fit with this movie. The characters were great in this movie, but the whole story didn't make a good sequel to Ant-Man. Team Ant-Man trying to get back their mom should not have been the plot to this movie. I will say it again. This should have not been the plot. Like, they find this girl and she looks so good for someone who has been in this space for quite some time. But shouldn't she be dead? What did she eat? How did she pass the time? Is this really the best you guys can think of for an Ant-Man sequel? Really? I would give credit for having a villain with a goal that made sense. It made me sympathize with her. But she really wasn't that great of a villain. They should have brought back Edgar Wright and John Cornus, because I feel the main reason I love Ant-Man 1 in the first place was because of them. I give this movie a 6.1 out of 10. Needed more fights and children's playsets. This movie was pretty decent and fun. I enjoy Han Solo in this, and I actually enjoy most of the characters in this. and the soundtrack was pretty great. But the movie is kind of forgettable. I don't want to be mean, but I feel like this movie is not going to be talked about a lot of years to come. As a story about Han Solo, it could have been worse, but it doesn't really do anything new, and could have been a lot better. I think a better story would have been Han truly just getting into trouble in the Star Wars universe. You could do so much with that. I wish Disney kept Chris Lord and Phil Miller on this production, because I'm pretty sure their version of Solo will probably be better than this. But hey, I could be wrong. I give it a 7 out of 10. So I had a joke about the darkness in this movie, because a lot of people complain about the darkness, but I thought it was too mean. So I'm not going to say it on this video, but if you want to hear my joke, just ask me in the comments. I'll tell you the joke. Venom is like the reverse Last Jedi. Critics gave this movie bad reviews and audiences liked it. But from the reviewers I watched, they all mostly said the same thing, that the movie was bad, but really enjoyable. And I would have to agree to that. Venom, in my opinion, was super funny and fun. The action was decent, and the music was lit. My man's Ludwig is on a roll. And CGI, and the CGI on Venom looks amazing. I don't care what anyone says, that CGI looks amazing, my guys. I remember seeing trailers for this movie and seeing Venom. It just looked, oh my goodness, that CGI looks good. And Tom Hardy's performance is amazing. This movie can be quite cheesy and weird, but I think that's what makes the movie fun. To me, the main reason I consider this a bad movie is the plot. It's not really good. Venom has a change of heart that kind of comes from out of nowhere. There's barely any character development whatsoever. To me, we need more scenes of Eddie bonding with Venom. So when he says this line,
"What really made you change your mind?"
You did, Eddie.
It actually makes sense. But honestly, after the first act, every character in this movie was really likable. And was really boring in Act 1. But after that, she's actually kind of interesting. I'm like, whoa, Anne, you're likable now. I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. Dan better be in that sequel. As a sequel, Ralph 2 does expand the world, just not in the way you think. I thought a good sequel for Wreck-It Ralph is have Ralph go into a gaming console and have him meet other video game characters from Xbox and Sony, like Nathan Drake or Master Chief. But I guess the internet is cool too. I really like the Easter eggs in this movie and found it fun and amusing to watch. But my favorite part about this movie is its lesson and how he gets it across. It made me shed a tear. So some fans of the first movie may not like this one. I enjoyed this movie for what it was, and wouldn't mind watching it again. It has creative scenes. I like how it uses the internet in this movie, and it's just fun. It's just good. 7.5 out of 10. Needs more Nintendo references. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, people super hype up this movie. Yo, I might stop watching reviews before I go see movies, because I feel if I didn't went into this movie with such high expectations, I would have a better opinion of it. That being said, this movie was good, colorful, vibrant, and creative. I would agree on this being the best animated film of 2018. I like Miles, I like Peter, and I like Gwen in this movie. They're all really great in this movie. And I really hope they make more movies with these characters. It had great pacing and just overall a fantastic film. It's not my favorite Spider-Man movie, but it's up there. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. No pun for this one. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please leave a like. And please subscribe too, that would be cool. But thanks for everything. Have a nice day. God bless and drink water.